As someone who reviews a lot of budget gear, there are definitely some items I'd recommend without thinking twice, and then there are ones that are just not cutting it. In today's video, I'll be sharing more cool tech gadgets I actually use on a regular basis. This first item is one of my favorite picks for 2025. It's the FIFINE D6 Stream Controller, which is basically FIFINE's answer to the Elgato Stream Deck, but at like half the cost. You get 15 customizable LCD buttons and you can use them for literally anything. Launching apps, triggering macros for DaVinci Resolve, opening folders, shortcuts for streamers, and opening web pages. You can grab it in black or white and the screen's bright, buttons are responsive, and of course it's got RGB lighting, which I personally prefer not to have on this device. Just like the Stream Deck, you do need a software which can be found at the bottom of FIFINE's product page. The software itself is good. You don't have a wide selection of plugins, which can be a deal breaker for some people, but if your main use is for shortcuts, macros, folder launches, and that kind of stuff, this gets the job done really well. One of my favorite features is the profile switching. You can set it up for gaming, streaming, or editing, and just switch between them on the fly. The sky's the limit with the D6. It's easily one of the best value pieces of gear I've used this year, and of course I'd highly recommend this one. Okay, next up I've got two products that were sent out to me by AliExpress, but all thoughts and opinions are entirely my own. Big shout out to them for supporting the channel. This next one is a throwback that hits me right into childhood. It is the Anbernic RGXXSP. Or we'll just call it the Flippy Boy. It's basically a Game Boy Advance SP clone, but better. It's got that classic clamshell design, and my first impression was that this feels real premium for such a budget handheld game console. The hinge itself feels really solid, and when you close the device it uses strong magnets to snap shut. The buttons are nice and clicky, but I would say they're a bit loud. So this might be a deal breaker if you're not into loud clicky buttons. That said, you can always mod it to tone down the sound if it bugs you. You're getting a 3.5 inch display that looks real sharp, and the best part, it can emulate various consoles such as SNES, Game Boy, PS1, N64, DS, and some PSP games. There are no Pokemon games out of the box sadly, but there are ways to get them online. The battery life is around 8 hours and charging is via USB-C. You can also hook the device to your TV since it has a mini HDMI port. Overall, the Flippy Boy is an excellent handheld console that only has a few downsides. Alright, so this is the 8BitDo Ultimate 2 Bluetooth controller, the follow-up to the original 8BitDo Ultimate. Right off the bat, the first thing I noticed was the RGB ring around the joysticks. The lights actually change colour based on your input, which is a really cool touch. It does make it look more premium and gives it that nice bit of flair that separates it from other controllers. They also added two new buttons, R4 and L4, which are fully remappable. Personally, I don't use them much. I've gotten so used to the standard bumpers and triggers, but having extra buttons never hurt. There's also a trigger switch mode, which lets you toggle between Hall effect style triggers and non-linear tactile triggers. Finally, they added these TMR sticks. They feel buttery smooth and more precise than Hall effect sticks. Just like the OG Ultimate, you still get that magnetic charging dock, which is one of my favorite things about this controller. Okay, so there are two versions for this controller. The 2.4 GHz model, which supports Windows, Android, and Linux, and the Bluetooth version, which adds Nintendo Switch support, but it's about $10 more expensive. If you don't play on the Nintendo Switch, you can save about $10 and go for the 2.4 GHz model. And if you want a full comparison between the two, I've dropped the link in the description below. And we're back with yet another FIFINE product. This time it's the FIFINE AM8, a dynamic microphone that does not break the bank. You can use it now with USB, and if you ever decide to upgrade your audio later down the line, you've also got XLR support built in. It comes with a foam cover, a solid metal stand, touch to mute, and physical controls for volume and gain. You do get RGB lighting like most FIFINE products, and for under $60, this already sounds worth it. You can also remove the metal stand and mount it to any boom arm. Well, it doesn't look particularly great on my BM88, but this is really just to show that you're not stuck with the desk stand it comes with. What's usually the deal breaker with budget mics is the sound quality, but to be candid, the AM8 sounds really impressive for the price. If you want to hear it for yourself, you can check out this next clip. Here is a sound test of the FIFINE AM8 microphone. For a budget mic that's not expensive, I think that's pretty darn good. And finally, a budget portable monitor I picked up while I was in China last year. I paid about $30 for this, and it's been way more useful than I expected. It's a 14-inch 1080p IPS panel at 60Hz, which is pretty basic on paper. I've used it from my Switch for a weird triple monitor setup, and even paired it with my mini PC when I'm on the go. It's got two USB ports, one for power, one for video, a HDMI port, an audio jack, and one of those scroll knob things for the on-screen display. It even has built-in speakers. They're not great, but they work if you've got no other option. Now, the one that I have uses an external fold-up stand, but if I were to buy one today, I'd spend a little extra for a version with a built-in kickstand. Well, fortunately I found one on AliExpress that's super similar to mine, and this one comes with a built-in kickstand. It is a bit pricier, and you can also spend an extra $10 for a touchscreen panel. For travel, productivity, or gaming on the go, portable monitors can come in pretty handy. There are definitely other options out there that might suit your setup or use case better. And for something this versatile, I think it's totally worth it. Okay, that's it for today's roundup. Everything I mentioned is linked down below. And I'd like to shout AliExpress out again for sponsoring part of this video. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button below and maybe consider subscribing. Thanks for checking out this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one.